Super Rugby, Saturday games. Weird couple of results there. The Chiefs end up getting no wins for the entire Super Rugby Aotearoa season. They're done. They got the bye next week. They're not going to be getting any wins. And the Waratahs gave the Reds something of an absolute hiding, especially in that first half. But yeah, I will start off with the first one before my throat gives way, which is the Chiefs. They tried, but they went down 31 points to 18 against the Canes. In Wellington, decent crowd for the game. I think they said it was 20-something thousand. Apparently it was pretty cold down there, and yeah, a bit of a cold reception for the Chiefs. They ended up getting beaten with a bonus point loss. So the Canes stay in the hunt for the Super Rugby Aotearoa title. They need desperately, like the Blues, for the Highlanders to do them a huge favour tomorrow. That seems pretty unlikely, but the Hurricanes did all they could. Chiefs had an early penalty bounce off the crossbar, which was maybe indicative of the way things were going to go. Umanga Jensen, who's been absolute class, he got a couple of tries. First one made it 7-3, and eventually it was 12-3 when he got his second. Geordie was unlucky with the conversion for that second one because the ball started to fall off the tee right as he was already approaching the ball, so he couldn't pull out of it. Didn't have time to put it back on the tee because the guys charging him down were already on the way, and his drop kick went wide. Fun Fake, though, got yellow carded for the Canes towards the end of that first half for a throw on Brad Weber. He just tossed him aside. Yellow carded for it, and you thought maybe Weber had gone in for a try right before halftime, but Tokiaho was in touch. So it was 12-3 at halftime. The Chiefs had kicked the penalty, but that was about it. And at least for the early half of that first half, it was all Chiefs. All Hurricanes. The Chiefs did come back into a bit, but the halftime stats were all Hurricanes. More run meters, 184 to 126. More possession, almost 60%. More territory, literally 64%. And it was just the turnovers conceded that was costing the Canes that had 10 in that first half. Also, Sam Cane went off injured in that first half, which just was a bit of salt in the wound for the Chiefs guys. He collided with either Geordie Barrett's hip or his elbow. He went off and didn't come back on. So what happens in with him with the All Blacks kind of remains to be seen. Second half, Geordie Barrett has a bit of a scare where he thinks he might be going to get carded, but Wainui, who was running at him, jumped at him and fell heavily, which you're not supposed to jump into people when you're the ball carrier. So yeah, Geordie Barrett managed to get off a dangerous tackle charge there, but it wasn't long later that Wainu actually got the first of the tries for the Chiefs. They had numbers on the left wing. It was still during the yellow card, and yeah, they made good use of the space. So 7 points during that yellow card makes it 12 points to 10. That's kind of a game on scoreline. But the Canes came back and Coles finished off a pretty brilliant try. Weber's pass was loose, and some of his passing was a wee bit loose tonight. The Chiefs generally had some loose passing, like just passes above the head, passes into the dirt, a bit off. And yeah, Coles finished the move. I think Perenata was there in the break, and that made it 17 points to 10 because the conversion went off the post. Chiefs kick a penalty, 17-13. And then Fun Fake makes up for his yellow card with a try of his own. It was a set play out wide, and it was after the line out. There was a cross kick. Absolutely no defenders there for the Chiefs. Whether the Canes had that planned out based on what the Chiefs' defensive patterns are like, or whether D-Mac just had a bad read, either way, Fun Fake was in acres of space, and Garda Bishop had a long time to make the kick. So too easy. The Chiefs did get a maul try, and it was Karpik who came up with it. There didn't seem to be much defence on that one from the Canes, to be fair, but they still managed to get a try through Proctor right at the end to put them back within that bonus point range to keep their season alive. So they did enough, the Canes. the Chiefs, it's just another loss. As a Blues fan, I can kind of feel for you because we certainly went seasons without beating any New Zealand teams. At least we had a good win over the odd South African or Aussie team in between, but you don't have that luxury in Super Rugby Aotearoa. So, yeah, run meters finished up pretty even, both in the low 300s. The Canes still had more possession of territory, but only still in the 50s. The Chiefs' tackling was 73%, which is poor. I was going to put an expletive in there, but it's poor. The Canes, on the other hand, were at 89%. Karifi had 36 run meters and 3 defenders beaten. He's sharp, good defensively. And Wainui for the Chiefs had 80 run meters, 3 clean breaks, 3 defenders beaten, and a good jump into a tackle. But, yeah. Where does this leave Warren Gatland? Looking pretty poor, to be honest. Yeah. They've had injuries, but there has to be some kind of deep dive on what's happened. I know they've got a bunch of losing bonus points, so it's been partly luck, I guess. But luck ain't no excuse. If you try and tell your boss why you're not doing a good job and you say, I've had bad luck, good luck trying to sell that one. So, yeah, we'll see. You got to think Gatland's reputation will get him through. I can't imagine they're going to break his contract or anything, but still not a very good look, is it? A lot more doubt will be put on him and he'll be getting a bit more grief. As if he needed more grief. Anyway, the next game, good on the Canes, by the way. Next game, Waratahs Reds. Like the Waratahs just out of nowhere go on an absolute blitz in that first half. Now the Brumbies lost yesterday, remember, so there's a good chance for the the Reds to make up some ground, but no, they got a hiding, an absolute hiding. The Waratahs look sharp. The Reds did get the first scrum penalty, but apart from that, the Waratahs got a penalty to make it 3-0, and then the Reds turned down a penalty of their own, which, when you see the scoreline, seems like a bit of a mistake. They went for touch, and the Waratahs won the line out straight away. And then Gordon gets the first try of 3 of his, which he gets before even 30 minutes, which is just madness. It's rammed down the left wing, offloads to Hunt, who offloads to Gordon. Rams chip and chase is the one that kind of created the opportunity. 10-0. Another try, Gordon, quick tap, reminiscent of that first game where Tate McDermott did it to the Waratahs. Quick tap, nobody's paying attention, under the post, 17-0. Maddox gets a try. Dempsey's step, fend, and pass gives it to Maddox, 24-0. Gordon gets his hat trick on 27 minutes. Line break from a line out. It's Gordon who makes the line break. He gives it to Harrison. Harrison gets run down, I think, by Dalgunu. Dalgunu gives it back to Gordon. Try time, 31-0. And then Newsom gets a try in the corner. Very athletic dive. Probably the most, I want to say artistic, gymnastic-y, whatever it is. Very athletic. Did I already use athletic? Athletic one. The TMO had to check it, but it was all good, and it's 38-0 by halftime. 38-0. The Waratahs are almost going at a point a minute, which is madness. They had 58% possession, 59% territory, 371 run meters to 172. The Reds were tackling at 79%. That first half, it was just all Waratahs. It's about as one-sided as it gets. Second half, believe it or not, the Reds actually won it. And there were handbags. There were handbags in this one multiple times. And one of the Reds guys ended up getting a big wedgie. I've never seen that before. That was hilarious. I guess you're not allowed to punch people. As soon as you go close fist, you get red carded. If you go open, like strike to the face, you probably get yellow carded. If you do wedgie, you get no punishment whatsoever. So when someone's all up and grabbing your jersey, apparently just give them a wedgie. Go back and watch the game, man. You missed the wedgie if you didn't see this one. But yeah, the Tahs got a maul try through Horton on 52 to make it 45-0, but that was the last of their scoring, believe it or not. The Reds did the rest of it. Tahs did go short for another try, but Hardy got one on 54. That was a cross kick from O'Connor. O'Connor actually probably had one of the better games of the Reds players. And right on 80 minutes, O'Connor got his second. They had a penalty. They didn't want to kick it out, so they went for an attack, and it paid off. I should say the Reds were actually down a man at that time because they'd been yellow carded for conceding scrum penalties, which is again such a huge turnaround from that previous week. So yeah, final stats: the Waratahs ended up with almost 60% possession, more than 60% territory. The Reds were knocking it on crazily, like 11 times. Run meters 461 to 405. So a lot of running in this game. Penalties conceded was huge though. 12 by the Tahs, 18 by the Reds. That was a bit of a killer, especially in that second half. Maddox was dangerous, 80 run meters, 3 clean breaks, 3 defenders beaten, and a try. Salakai Loto was the best tackler for the Reds with 12 from 14. But yeah, absolutely madness game. You should watch it if you haven't seen it, especially the first half. Reds, as I mentioned, very disappointing. They're unable to capitalise on the Brumbies dropping points, but I gotta say I'm pretty happy for the Tahs because they've been under the pump. Their coach, like Gatland, has not been getting a lot of joy from his squad thus far this season, even before lockdown. At least Gatland's pre-lockdown record was okay. But yeah, it's good for them to pick up a huge win at home. We haven't seen many blowouts in recent months, but this is definitely one of them. So yep, that's it. Chiefs. I feel sorry for Chiefs fans. Next season it'll be better, I'm sure. And yeah, congrats to the Tahs. Very big win. I'm off to bed, and I will talk to you guys again soon. If my throat holds up, it's gone a bit croaky. Anyway, guys, take care. I'll see you soon. Bye.